Hello, hello. All right, today we're going to talk about taking radical responsibility for yourself, for your decisions. I just did a post in the community about radical responsibility and how my life greatly changed when I chose to go that path, which is I had spent years blaming outside things for why I was where I was with my weight. It was other people, other situations, hardships growing up, things of that nature. And those maybe were 100% true, but it wasn't digging me out of the situation I was in the moment. You know, Heather being over 300 pounds didn't get to that point just solely because of those past experiences. It was decisions I was making in the moment, decisions I was making day to day. And yes, I would look to my past to justify a lot of the reasons I was where I was, and it felt like a reason, but that reason didn't change the fact I was the one suffering in the body that was basically twice as big as it should have been, right? Like, I mean, I was carrying around an extra human being on that body that didn't need to be there. And when I finally said yes, all of that may be true. Those people did me wrong, terrible things happened, all that stuff. But just focusing on that and having a reason for why I am the way I am isn't fixing the problem. It's not dealing with the present moment. It's not dealing with the here and now. So how I did that was asking myself, what do I have control over in this moment? In this moment, what can I do? Because even if I removed my past from the equation on a day-to-day basis, I would make plans. I'd have great plans. I'd have plans of what I was going to do with the kids and plans of what I was going to do with my eating. And inevitably, those things never worked out the way I wanted them to. So I could be victim in that moment. I could be like, woe is me. I had a plan. I was going to eat this. I was going to do this, and all this fell apart. Or I could take radical responsibility in the moment and say, okay, yeah, all that happened, all these things that quote unquote are not helpful happened. Car broke down, kids are sick, the food I planned to eat is not available, the restaurant I had planned to go to didn't work out, my plan is falling apart. In this moment, what is the choice that I have control over? Because here's the thing. No matter how grim your situation, no matter how dire the situation, no matter how off-plan, quote unquote, it is, you still get a choice. There were days where I would choose to maybe eat my lunch before I went somewhere because I knew my choices there were going to be not great. Or there were choices that I can make in the moment that were less damaging than other choices. And that's kind of how I started to navigate it. Okay, yeah, this sucks. Not what I wanted. But within this context, what things will move me closer to my goals and what things will move me further away from my goals? That was the radical responsibility. It wasn't like I could juggle all the balls of controlling everything all the time. Nobody can. But what I could do is say, whatever life served up, whatever my reality is in this moment, out of all the options I have in front of me, eat the sandwich, wait and eat when I get home, have a protein bar, ask my friends if we can go somewhere else. Out of all these options, I get to choose for Heather. And that's what I want to encourage you today. I think sometimes we get blindsided in not seeing our power and not seeing that we have a lot of control and autonomy over what we choose to do. And we'll often say things like, but people think I'm weird, or what if they're uncomfortable if I do X, Y, or Z? Again, you're giving away your radical responsibility because you can't control them either. You can't control if they think you're weird because you didn't eat lunch with them. You can't control what other people believe or think or how they perceive you. And what I had to realize in that moment was my worry about other people's perceptions was me giving away my radical responsibility. So I just want to encourage you, really step back and look at how much power you have. So many things you won't have control over, but you always have decision for you, not for anybody else. And it's up to you how much you let your mind dictate what you choose to do. My mind would come in and say, this isn't fair. This sucks. This wasn't the plan. What will other people think? Will they think I'm weird? What if I don't eat what everybody else is eating? How will I be perceived? All of those thoughts, right, is a lot of times why I gave up my radical responsibility. But when I started managing my mind and saying, okay, but I have a goal, and if I need to move toward that goal in this moment, what are the things that will move me closer to it versus the things that move me further away? And if I were to shut my mind down for a second and look at all the options on the table, I always have a choice. So I just want to encourage you today. I know a lot of times we don't see how much control we have because we think about all these other external factors. But every day, ask yourself a couple questions. What do I have control over in this moment? And out of the choices I'm presenting here, which one helps me work toward my goal, not further from my goal? You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.